Well, my friends, we are here. Oh my god, guys, EU5, Europa Universalis 5. After all these years, we are finally here. And boys, this is a doozy. I'm gonna go ahead and say this right now from the beginning, my friends. I do not know what to do here, alright? Yes, I have been given early access to EU5 in order to be able to play this and release this before the actual release date of the game. And yes, I was given this weeks in advance to be able to play through the game in order to be able to learn its mechanics and do things with it. In fact, my wife was actually given first access to it, and I've had to show her how to do certain things. But even with that time, the amount of things that go into this game are truly insane. For any of you who have played Hearts of Iron, Crusader Kings, Victoria 3, etc., I want you to imagine all the complications that you would potentially see with Victoria 3. Mix that with a lot of the character building that you see in Crusader Kings and the national management that you would see in Europa Universalis 4. Like, oh dear God, the sheer amount of things that you have to handle and do are mind-boggling. But I say that, it's more so things that you could do. In reality, a large part of the game is automated, as I'm going to show here. But here it is. Big, beautiful, glorious map that it is. April 1st, 1337. A full 100 years before the events of Europa Universalis 4, we start the game at a time where it is the start of the English 100 Years' War between England and France. We start at a time where the Byzantine Empire still exists and is in a stronger state, though is crumbling. We start at a time where the Ottomans are not yet the powerhouse that they would become. We exist at a time in which Great Yuan, the Mongolian Khanate, dominates the entirety of Asia, having taken out China, even as at this moment it likely is something that is not going to last. Muscovy is a tiny little state, with Novgorod being significantly larger, and the entirety of Kievan Rus subservient to the Golden Horde. There are so many things. There are so many things that change here in history that I cannot wait to be able to dive into. But we, my friends, are going to save the world. How are we going to do it? By bringing them to Christ. Yeah, I know it's actually kind of funny since the previous video that I did was literally the Crusader Kings thing where we created Christian samurai. But I'll be blunt with you all. When it is that we were deciding what it is that we were going to play, all the varying different creators that were getting early access to EU5 were choosing things like a bunch of people went and chose England, a bunch of people went and chose Byzantium, a bunch of people went and chose China. You'd see a lot of the same things getting chosen, and I wanted to choose something that no one on the list of like 50 different creators got. And no one chose the Pope. So yes, I'm sorry, Benedictus. You don't look so sad, but you got me in charge now. Now, my friends, I'm going to try and explain the details of this game, the features and the mechanics as much as I possibly can, at least to the greatest degree of my knowledge. But first and foremost, I need to go ahead and stress to you all right now that I do not have extensive knowledge of this game. Yes, I am capable of playing it. Yes, I'm capable of using some of the things, but it's going to require a lot of time with many different mess ups in order for me to learn how to do this properly. And I will be making a whole series of videos explaining how different things work in order to be able to teach people how to play the game. Because again, to describe this game as complicated would be a severe understatement. This makes a lot of things that are in Crusader Kings, Victoria 3, etc. look like child's play in comparison. But that all being said, you are able to do far more things automatically versus having to do them yourself like you do in other games, which makes it a lot easier. Historical context. Since its creation by the hand of St. Peter himself, the Catholic Church has been guiding all of humanity to salvation through the ages, thanks to the leadership of the Bishop of Rome, the Pope. Starting with the donation of Pepin, the Blessed Papal States were created to both govern and help the faithful. However, the last decades have been a constant struggle, as the death of Pope Bonifacius VIII, Geteni Aquila, forced the relocation of the court to the exclave of Avignon, as the papacy fell under the influence of King Philippe IV, the Fair of Capet, and its holdings in Italy were dominated by quarreling noble families. Definitely not a fun thing. What will the Vicar of Christ do? Will he fully become a puppet of the Kingdom of France and allow the temporal rule over the spiritual? Or will he break free and rise to the position at the top of creation that God himself intended for the church? I think you all know what the answer is. We do not have the ability to do a walkthrough for the game because I guess we are playing something that is not part of the main nations they expect you to play here in the beginning. But I'm going to go ahead and show this off. First, you all can see just how many things are up here on the screen at any given time. We have a lot of different things to go through. From the estate system, which if you go over here to your government, you can see that the different estates from the crown, nobility, clergy, burghers, and commoners are all factors. Not only are they all factors where you have to govern and balance the power between them, but simultaneously, they have a population that has to be handled as well. Because in controlling said population, if you let one get too powerful and they get disloyal, they will rise up against you and create havoc through the country. So that is something that we have to deal with. If they get too disloyal, well, we can simply just bribe them and make them loyal, which is always something that is enjoyable in the first place. Every single estate has a series of privileges. These privileges can be things that are boon for the overall state, but simultaneously they come with a number of costs that hurt us. Like, as an example, here being in Italy with feudal mercenary contracts, we can get very cheap mercenaries, which is nice, but it ends up creating a little bit of a problem for our own private powerful armies in the first place. Only nobles are allowed to be leaders, so we can't get the burghers to be in charge. Fortification licenses, which limits the ability for us to centralize power under ourselves. All that is not necessarily a problem. The big problem for the papacy from the very beginning of the game is the sheer stupid amount of privileges that the clergy have, which, yes, it's a theocracy, that's going to happen. But then you have things like this, French cardinals, which French cardinals was implemented on the 1st of April, 1333, since the death of Pope Bonifacius VIII, Geteni Aquila, and the movement of the court to Avignon. Most of the cardinals in it are French and under the influence of the King of France, whose grip on the papal states will not allow a return to Rome. This is something that we need to try to get rid of as soon as possible because, yeah, despite us being here, the capital of the papacy is over here in Avignon. And that is an issue because it limits our ability to control and develop literally anything over here. And we do not want that. But in order to get rid of that, it's going to cost us stability. You can see, like, right here, that this is going to cost 216 stability, which we clearly cannot afford, and that we only have a rate of 29 stability right now. So, yeah, a lot of things are going to need to change, and I'm going to try and address different features as it is that we go through them, because, again, this is a very confusing thing, and I know this video is going to be very long in the first place, but this is a first look that you all are going to get at this game, and we'll make more concise videos as we move on to properly explain things. Are you a little bit overwhelmed? Yeah, me too, but don't worry about it, we're going to fix this. Over here on the right side, you can see there's a thing called automation. This game is very complex. Every single population that you see throughout the entirety of the game requires certain goods. This has buildings, which require inputs. You need glass, you need wheat, you need all these different items to have an actual functioning economy. And it's a problem because sometimes your buildings are unprofitable. Sometimes the population has needs that are not being met. And all of this is very frustrating. I don't want to have to buy any of this stuff and constantly need to micromanage. As a result, one of the easiest things that we could go ahead and do is we can automate trade, automate buildings, automate subsidization, and automate RGO construction. RGO being all of the basic rural goods that, like wheat and whatnot, that are the basic building blocks of every single kind of other good that you can make in the game. I don't want to have to manage that, so I'm going to let the state manage it for me. This is what I mean by it is extremely complicated, but you have a lot of things that are able to help. At the same time, we're going to make sure that at any given time, we have a surplus of 420 gold, frickin' blaze it. And then beyond that, we're going to let the state build buildings that we need. So, and it being 1337, what exactly are we going to do as the Papal States? Well, we're going to need to consolidate our power. We're going to need to build up our forces within Italy here in the first place. And from there, we are going to need to try and spread the word of Christ while simultaneously maintaining our independence and power. Which, in order to do that, you need to understand that Italy is split into two different factions. You have the Guelphs and you have the Ghibellines, which it shows right here. The Guelphs are those that support the Pope and his power within Italy. The Ghibellines support the Holy Roman Emperor. And so all the varying little Italian city-states and things that you see in here, from Pitigliano, Siena, Florence, etc., all of these things that are in green, along with yellow here, since this is the leader of this faction, support the Pope. Everyone else that you see here from within Italy supports the Holy Roman Emperor. And we don't like that. So our goal, ultimately, is to be able to grow and consolidate our power. In order to be able to do this, we're going to need to start to prepare for expansion immediately. which means I'm going to need to start using some diplomats in order to create some spy agencies in order to be able to invade things. But first, we're going to need to go ahead and balance our economy. We currently have a massive surplus, which is awesome, but most nations will not have this big of a surplus that are my size. You may wonder, what do I mean, my size? Well, the papacy is a very small state. It should not have this large of an economy. But the reason it does is because of this little thing that you can see right here, Catholic Church tithe, in which every single Catholic state around the world pays a tithe to me as the Pope, so I actually get a ton of money, which is awesome. What that means is that if I want everyone to like me, I can do something very simple. I can simply get rid of all the taxes that are on everyone, the burgers, etc. here, and I can let them keep their money to help develop things within the country. And despite not taxing a single person, I'm still making a massive profit. At the same time, and this is a big feature within EU5, you have to go and balance what it is that you're doing with your court. The cost of the court is the cost of the varying different things that you have as a ruler. We can max this out so it increases our overall devotion, which we want to get as high as possible to increase the authority that we have. We want to maximize our army maintenance, navy maintenance, fort maintenance, maximize our diplomatic spending so that we generate quite a bit of diplomatic power. And of course, maximize our stability. All of these things here are important. After that, we go over here, we choose our research. Only thing that we can choose is organized religion, which increases the max literacy for clergy. So of course, we're going to do that. And we're going to arrange how things work within our cabinet. Now, we, as the Pope, currently are strong enough that we have 2 cabinet seats. So we're going to appoint the best members that we possibly have for the cabinet, which are pretty much these guys here, I think. If we organize it by ability, yeah, we have the Napolio de Ursinus and then the Berthold de Ursinus. Like, we get these 2. So we're going to go ahead and appoint them to cabinet positions. Now, with these 2, we can go ahead and assign a cabinet action, which goes based off their certain abilities. Instead of mana points like what you would see in EU4, this has a somewhat, mana system where the skill of an individual leader, commander, etc. that you have creates a modifier that affects every single thing that you do in the game. So if you have a high administrative score, you get bonuses to administrative abilities and actions, more crown power, less cost for hiring advisors, less building cost, etc. All of these things are things that factor in, and it is nice. In our case, the big thing that we want right now is stability, because our stability is ridiculously low. So I'm going to go down here and find stabilized country, and because we have a 55 in this skill, it is going to increase it by 0.5, which we go ahead and do, plus the modifier that we have, plus 23%, that 0.05 becomes 0.06. So it adds overall to the growth of stability that we have each month. Not a lot, but it's still something that is nice. Beyond that, we're going to be using a lot of diplomats. So diplomatic endeavor is going to be pretty valuable for us in the first place in order to go and increase our ability to do things. And all of this is then reflected in the values of the country, because each country, based on your culture, based off your ideas, based off all the things that you choose, is going to have values that you can focus on, whether it's a more centralized state, decentralized state, traditional versus innovative, spiritualist versus humanist, etc. All of these things factor in, and it is just fascinating to watch because each thing has their own kind of bonuses depending upon the type of game that you're trying to play. We'll probably do that a lot more later as time goes on. Either way, the last thing that we need to do here before we move on to other events is we need to reform our government, because we have 3 possible forms that we can choose, and one is already done, which we are the literal Holy See. So we can then choose between these 4 different things as to what kind of thing we're going to get. Either more food production, which increases stuff for serfdom, diplomatic traditions, enforced religious adherence, trade network, etc. And to be honest, we're the Pope. So naturally, of course, we are going to enforce religious adherence, because why would we not? And then the last part is going to be diplomatic traditions, which Diplo reputation plus 3, that is huge. This guy is already providing plus 2.93 Diplo reputations. That's plus 6, which in itself means that we can go and make people like us really fast. And so it is, my friends. We finally begin. First things first, as we already explained, and you're going to see pop-ups in here, the Guelphs dominate central Italy, but there's still a couple holdouts that we have here that don't really support us. In order to be able to go and take them out, we are going to go over here, and we are going to First, build a spy network. We're going to build this because in about 20 months or so, that will generate us enough spy network that we can start to build a casus belli in order to take out the Urbanites. Along with that, we do want to eventually be able to unite with our province over here in Avignon, which means that we're going to have to likely take out Provence, but in order to be able to reach that with our forces, we are going to need to start to move our way up, and all of these people that you can see here, from Pisa heading up into Genoa, they support the Emperor. And I don't like that. So I'm sorry, Siena, even though you are my ally, technically speaking, or you are a supporter of me, I do want your land, and I do want to take you out. Beyond that, I'm going to need a couple of supporters, big names and players. I know that France is not going to like me, considering what it is that I'm going to be doing to them. So, Aragon, we're going to improve relations with you, and we're going to improve relations with the Kingdom of Hungary. By God, Catholicism will spread. And you know what? Let's go ahead and begin. England! Why would you do this? Why would you declare me a rival from the very get-go? I haven't done anything to you. And here I was thinking about supporting you, you freaking bastards. Really? Wow. Wow, France and England. Amazing. Now, for those of you who may be curious, I am currently building up a spy network here in Siena as well as Urbino. Technically speaking, if I wanted to, I could go right now and I could just declare war. But unfortunately, I only have the no casus belli show superiority, which increases the cost drastically for me waging a war. And while yes, I could do this, we don't want to increase antagonism too much because to do so would be a little bit of a problem. In fact, I realized in the first place, I actually cannot do anything against Siena here because Siena is a part of my faction, meaning nothing that I am doing here matters. So we can cancel that spy network. See, that's the thing that I realized. I literally will not be able to get a spy network over here. No piracy war, no force into our faction because they're already a faction. None of this actually factors in here. Pisa, however, the same could not be said. We will go ahead and build a spy network over here. Because this, my friends, is the political landscape of Italy. The Guelphs and the Ghibellines have been fighting for dominance over Italy for multiple centuries, since the investiture controversy pitted the Pope and the Holy Roman Emperor against each other. The Guelphs support the papal authority over the peninsula, while the Ghibellines are considered imperial loyalists, holding their allegiance true to the Holy Roman Empire. Signaling beyond their initial positions, both sides now represent a diversity of interests, so the different countries are no strangers to switching sides for their own benefits. Yes, in this situation, it is possible to align with the Papal States or the leader of the Holy Roman Empire in their struggle for dominance over Italy. As the Pope, we will only be allowed to support the side of the Guelphs, naturally, because that is our cause. I am going to try and influence and take over as much of these things as I possibly can. Whoa, wait, what is this? The Knights' Renewal of the Crusades. The past centuries in Levant have been coated in blood, dust, and sweat as we struggle to wrest control of the Holy Land from our Muslim foes. Despite our failures, our deeds have been immortalized in history and serve as an inspiration to many prospecting knights and warriors who wish to take up the cause. As such, the Knights Hospitaller have approached us with the proposition of sponsoring a renewed crusade, a new bid to reclaim what is rightfully ours. Papal States proposed call for crusade resolution in Catholic Church. Okay. Hold up. This is exactly what I want to do. Literally, the entire goal. So, yes, I would sponsor crusade. Papal States have proposed the Catholic Church enact a call crusade against Egypt. And everyone can now vote. Okay, hold up. This is our reform desire within the Catholic Church. What is the thing? This is tithe. This is call for crusade. How many are accepting? Oh, Lord, we have the 100 Years' War that is now broken out. Which, yes, there's going to be a thing between England and France, but maybe they'll stop if they want to do a crusade. Oh, everyone's voting yes. We've declared war on the Mamluk Sultanate of Egypt in 1338. All right, let us hope our preparations are enough. The countries of the defending side are Egypt, Suakin, Drukids, Banakans, Kils, Mecca. Oh God, that's pretty extensive. And the French are involved, right? They got a lot of men. What are we looking at forces wise here? 145,000 men potentially. Okay, this is going to be kind of hard to manage from the very get-go. We're going to over here. We're going to try and raise our levies for the Navy, and then let's wait and see if we can get some forces down there to help. Buddy, you dropped off 2 knights versus 2,000. I don't know what you expected. Quick, let's go over here and try and raise our forces in the first place. I don't have any ships, right? I have no manpower in order to be able to get retinues. I have no ability to apparently get more sailors. The only thing that I have is levies. The Papal Archives of Assisi. The history of the papal government is an old and very well documented one. Many events and decisions regards the affairs of the papacy and Catholicism are filed and collected at the Papal Archives of Assisi. The access to these archives has become very restricted, however, due to our business within France, our capital. The receipt of Catholicism has been moved to Avignon. I don't want this. No, it's not worth it. I don't care if it hurts my prestige. I literally do not want it. I'm just going to take my ships here. I'm going to go and now go to my army, and the only thing I have are levies. I will raise all of these levies, and I will set them to gather here in Rome. Now we have a pretty substantial army of literally just peasants. Hey, it looks like our guys are actually succeeding in getting things, though. Oh my god, that attrition. You are marching straight into the desert, you idiots. Okay, that's going to be a little bit of a problem, but we need to move down here. We're going to go ahead and send the army over here to Barak so that we can try and at least take that part. Oh, wait, they have disease. I don't want to move into this. Yeah, that's the thing. Armies can now carry diseases, and it's not great. So they got smallpox and malaria. Okay, if we drop off those forces, we can then go ahead and take our navy. And with this navy, since it's a bunch of fishing vessels, we can then order them to start distributing food. Because here's the thing as well, guys. There's a supply system in this game. And when I first was initially trying to learn this, I had no idea what the hell was going on. I barely understood any of it. To the point that moving armies around, if you don't move them with forces to be able to supply your troops with food, they will starve. You cannot just send massive armies flooding into the countryside of a country anymore and you carpet siege them. That's not how it works. You have to actually supply said troops with food, making it significantly more complex to handle. Oh lord, we have an actual massive battle that is taking place here. Hold up. Oh, they beat out one army. Send in the forces. Forces of France, forces of the papacy. We will unite and help at least through these efforts. Ooh, winning a war, yes. Yep, French army, you go ahead and start chasing them down. You do that. I will focus on occupying all of this, and I am fine with that. I know there's a lack of food here, guys, but don't worry, we got this. Oh my god, are you seriously marching straight into the middle of the desert? Why? They are not able to get food. That is a thing that I have a difficult time processing as to how to actually do anything. I'm going to move my forces back here before it is that they starve. Oh my lord. They're just chasing each other back and forth here through the desert as we're bleeding out. Do I know if any of this is going to work? No, but while we're launching into Crusade, we might as well start creating a casus belli in order to be able to do things. Conflict between Poland and the Teutons. Hold on. The politics between Poland and Teutons are heated as ever. The Teutonic seizure of Pomerania has left a sour taste in Polish mouths, prompting them to bother us with multiple complaints filed against the Knights. A recent investigation by Commission in Poland has declared that the Teutonic Society is to surrender vast swaths of territory to the Polish, prompting an appeal. We must resolve this matter. The historic option, it shows me right here, is that let us seek a middle ground, which the Teutons lose 20 prestige, and they just have to accept that they lost some land. So you know what? We're going to do that. What is this? Delegation from Yuan. Wait, from China? Hold up. An envoy from the faraway land of Yuan has just arrived in Avignon. They inform us of the plight of the Mongolian Catholic peasants in Kanbalik, who've been left without a spiritual leader in the faraway Cathay. Therefore, they implore us to send priests to Kanbalik on their behalf. Yeah, send it to them, please. Honestly, let the European powers fight it out, really. I cannot risk a lot of men down here, and now they're being beaten back. What I do also like is that you don't have to conquer each and every single individual province in the game, because what ends up happening is you conquer territory. If you conquer the castle, the surrounding territory around it also gets conquered. So, it's worth it to be able to move and do things. Letters from the Grand Duke. Oh, hey, the Duke of Lithuania is converting to Catholicism. That's amazing. That'll just make my cash go up even higher. Yeah, our forces are currently attritioning themselves to death down here in Egypt. It's not exactly working out. Should I go ahead and cut my losses here? Maybe I should. Maybe I actually should. I could take all of this territory right now, and you know what? People would be happy with it. Along with 76 gold, you know what? We did it. And I barely had to lift a frickin' finger, and yet, you know what? The Papal States now owns a good chunk of Egypt. I love calling crusades and then not having to do anything. Of course, in order to be able to control this territory, we are going to need to actually control the territory. So I will need to go over to my cabinet now here, and instead of just stabilizing the country, we are going to need to begin to try and integrate the provinces. We need to convert people. We need to do all these things. In order to secure said territory, we have to go down to, let's see, what is it? Expel people, force pops to migrate away from this province. I could expel a bunch of people here from Egypt, yes, but more importantly, I need to integrate it, and I also need to assimilate pops into our culture and convert the province. So we're going to convert it, which, just as is something in the first place. So Catholic conversion and simultaneously cultural conversion. We're on a mission here, people. Slave conversion. Hold on. This is a new religious policy when you actually go into a territory that has slaves. So you can either allow slaves to have their own religion, or you can force them to convert. Well, I think you know what it is that we are doing. There we have it. The immediate step after this, of course, my friends, is that we are going to expand our territory into other things. Naturally, with things secured down here in Egypt, we're going to need to go ahead and secure our power base on land. So, Urbino, hey buddy, it's time to declare war, and you are actually allied with Pitgliano. Yeah, we're going to accept that you are a co-belligerent, Pitgliano. We're just going to say that, and, of course, we're going to force you into our faction. With that, we're going to gather all of our forces here into one army, and then march on the capital. Whoa, hold up, nope. They just did a thing. Smyrniot Crusade. Whoa, hold up. You're saying that we could launch another crusade? The widespread Turkish piracy with the Beylik of the Aydenids at its helm has caused much dismay to the Christian shipping. Such a state of matters cannot stand. Christendom will not be humiliated by lowly Sunni pirates. To curb this misery, we should call a crusade on the Aydenids to end their treachery once and for all. You know what? A crusade international organization will be created, and every Catholic country that joins it will automatically declare war on the crusade target. You damn right. Oh yeah, baby, we are living large. That is one army wiped out, which means that when it comes to the Papal Urbanite War, we can go ahead and sue for peace here. I can take this territory. I can take this territory. I can make Urbino my vassal, humiliate them, force them to change factions, and make them give me a bunch of money. It's good to be the Pope. Oh, dear Lord. Hold up. The integration action will be done on March 1st, 2111. All right, I didn't know the game went that long. That's probably not going to work out here so much. Okay, well, you know what? We're going to change this from integration, since clearly that's not going to work very well, to assimilating the pops into our culture, because Lower Egyptian clearly is some problems. It's not working. Even as we now enter the age of the Renaissance. Well, hold up. This is the dawning of the Age of Renaissance. A new era of knowledge, arts, and progress emerges due to growing interactions and institutions in the medieval societies affected by Pax Mongolica, the Islamic Golden Age, and the European Renaissance. With that, we can actually choose between our focuses. Do we want an administrative focus, diplomatic, or military? But each one gives access to different advances. So if I choose one of these, I don't get access to the others. Now, there's some really good stuff that I can see here from a lot of these, at least from the very get-go, but honestly, hold on. Why is administration Deus Vult? Why is that a thing? Mercenary maintenance is minus, considering we already get great bonuses for mercenaries in the first place, thirst for knowledge honestly seems to be, or administrative focus seems to be the best bet. Oh, Lord, Aragon, you want an alliance. Yes, I will accept an alliance. Thank you very much. There we go, Venice, buddy. You go ahead and land and do that. I'm so proud of you. I literally don't have to do anything. Oh my god, Crusades are so overpowered. Just let Venice and whatnot fight. I don't have to do a damn thing. I'm just saving Christianity. How could you do this to me? Declare me your rival, Byzantines. Knights, you want some money? Honestly, I'm swimming in ducats. Sure, I'm going to support the Knights. We are doing great. And you know what? Professional armies, this just means the Pope is going to have the biggest, best army of all. Once I can afford it, manpower-wise. And the Pope died. Great. So here's the thing about being the Pope. As all this is happening, right, it launches a papal enclave. The family of the powerless king. Hold on. The situation in the Neapolitan prince consort Prince Andros is brought to our attention by his close kin, King Angelos of Hungary. His kindred continues to suffer the humiliation of holding no real power in Naples, even if he is the rightful king, as the court nobles are directed exclusively by Queen Giovanna Angio. King Angio asks us to put an end to this unjust situation and crown Prince Angio Andros. Will not allow him to meddle? Yeah. Bam. That's right. Support and get money. Get paid. Venice, are you not going to give this territory to me? Is it just going to sit here? I guess I probably should have sent some forces to actually do things. But you know what? It's fine. I'll grant you this territory. You did a fantastic job. I didn't have to fight at all. The crusade is largely successful. So let's go ahead and make some negotiations here in the first place. The Sarnahads, I want to convert them to Catholicism and then make them my vassal. That seems completely reasonable. We are spreading Catholicism. Beyond that, Venice, you can go ahead and take over this territory down south. I genuinely do not care. That is fantastic of you. Thank you for spreading Catholicism. Great job. I, on the other hand, can continue to build cathedrals throughout the entirety of Egypt, which is fantastic because that means I'm converting the population at a fairly decent rate. And wait, what is this new modifier here? I can canonize a saint? Who can I canonize? It won't let me do any of them. Hold on. Oh, wait. How do I canonize? And the embezzler? How do I do this? Oh, in this way. Okay, so I select them in order to canonize them, and I have 150. Well, we're clearly going to do Bonifacius the Eighth because he's the most skilled of all of these. I gain prestige, we gain devotion, clergy gains estate satisfaction. You know, that's exactly what we're doing. With the integration of Grosseto, that means that we can go ahead and integrate the other territory that we have here. Can I please just elect a new pope already? This is getting ridiculous. I have a 17-year-old boy who's in charge. Finally. Okay. This is what happens. It takes like a year or so after a pope dies to elect a new guy. So the papal conclave has finished debating on which cardinal should be elected as new pope. There were 3 major candidates, but which one won the election? We have the Cardinal of Manfredonia, who is, oh my God, he is terrible. He is actually terrible. The Cardinal of Napoli, which a little bit better. Not a good administrator, but decent diplomat and meh military guy. And then we got Cardinal of Arx. Dear God, these guys suck. Honestly, we're going to take the guy from Naples. Maybe the Nepalese people will like us at least a little bit. And you are 56. You'll probably live at least a little bit longer. What are you? Architectural visionary. Okay. Well-connected. All right. Bold fighter. All right. And benevolent. Okay. Okay. I will take that. Oh, Lord. No. Oh, that is going to be a fun thing. The Black Death has begun. All right. So there's plagues in this game now, and that is a thing that we have to deal with. If you go and click on the Black Death, which you can see here is currently at Chania Zemlya, which is likely going to then spread around as much as possible. So yeah, there's the Black Death. We need to prepare for that as much as possible, which means that we need to get buildings and procure remedies. Yeah, we're definitely going to do that, and simultaneously, we're going to try to build hospitals for disease resistance. So if I build a hospital here, I can build it in currently just Avignon. That's all. All right, well, we're going to build it there now, and then hopefully we can build it elsewhere afterwards. Oh my God. What? The Aragonese Union rebels. What is happening over here? What is the point in this? Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to launch the invasion that I initially planned on doing over here. That's a little bit of a problem. Do I betray my only... You know, Aragon, I really don't want to deal with all this. Yeah, if you can't fight against them at all, we're not going to help at all. Egypt has joined a coalition against the Papal States. What have I done? I only hurt you like a significant time ago. I should have probably gone and improved favors with them. Yeah, that is a stupid thing that I absolutely should have done, and I did not do it. And now the Black Death is inside our country. Fantastic. What can I do about that? I don't know, but it's here. And at the same time that happens, I now have the ability to attack Genoa and more. So, you know, we can do a lot. I'm not going to move the court into hiding. I'm not going to do all that. 356 deaths already in the first couple days. I can't expel the sick. Social actions sponsor mass forgiveness, which helps with stability. So that is something. I may want to do that. And we're not going to present scapegoats. We're not going to do that. No. Can I build any disease-resistant buildings? Any hospital? Now I can build hospitals. Okay, so yeah, we're basically going to dump our entire economy into just building hospitals. Try and protect people as much as we can. I wish I had been able to do that earlier, but it wouldn't let me. I don't know why, but now I will. Luca, we're going to be spreading death to you, I guess. I mean, Christianity. True Christianity. Yes. Locations are depopulating. That's... lovely. That's what I want to hear. Oh, I have attrition because of the bubonic plague. Guess I better kill them. This is going great, guys. Wait, are you seriously out of food? Whoa, hold up. An offer for Avignon. The city of Avignon has been the seat of the Papal State since it was chosen in 1309 by Pope Clemens V the Goth to replace Rome. It is fully controlled by the Papal States, but the Queen of Naples maintains a nominal right to rule over it. Today, a messenger from Naples arrived offering us to buy that right with gold. Yes! Oh my god, Rome is now finally the capital again. We can centralize authority, right? No. Oh my god, my cabinet members are dropping like frickin' flies. Are you freaking kidding me? Another status quo. Am I just stuck? Will this? No. I have to keep on alternating forces. I had 5,000 men. I now have 1,800. That is how many men I have lost. Oh, we are still alternating back and forth. This is freaking ridiculous. Oh my god, would you fall already? It has been literally like 3 years. Oh my god, and now it's a papal conclave. Are you freaking kidding me? I get it, it's a supply shortage. Would you fall? Why the hell are you not falling? It has been like... I'm actually getting angry. I'm actually legitimately getting angry because like I've lost thousands of men and I just have to keep on cycling these back and forth because of the freaking food capacity. Finally, 530 days. Oh my freaking god. Finally, okay. There's the siege. That's done. That took way too long. Yeah, screw it. I'm just taking everything. I do not care. Yoink, give that all to me. And then I need to disband my army so that I can actually take some time to heal because holy crap. Oh dear god, I just realized. Hold up. The Black Death has passed, I guess. It's already moved through us. We seem to have survived it, but I lost 500,000 people. In fact, I lost so many Italians that the greatest number of people in the Papal States are now Egyptian. Well, that wasn't supposed to happen. A new outbreak. Are you kidding me? I can't escape it. No, it's measles. And the Pope dies again. Great. This just keeps on happening. It just keeps on happening. At this point, over the span of like, what, 18 years? Yeah, of course, the coalition is going to disband. We have risen in power from rank number 40-something to 28. This is quite powerful here, to be honest. If only we could still recruit proper men, but I still have no manpower. Oh, Lord, I am close to being able to be targeted by a jihad. All I'm trying to do is spread Christianity down here. Come on. Whew. Okay. You know what? It took a while. It took a while till 1354, but the Black Death may be finally over, and it only took 691,000 of our people. Yeah. That's a fun time to be sure. All right. And now that the Black Death is gone, why not some more holy death? This is really wrong on so many levels. Everyone is voting yes. Oh boy. Well, there you have it. War. War, my friends. A crusade is called, and now, we are in a significantly more powerful position. We can actually do this. We have actually less men going into this than I thought that we would otherwise. Go figure. I guess in the aftermath of the Black Death, a lot more people are dead. We're just going to let our allies go down there and invade first. Oh, wait, no. I have territory. I forgot. That has to actually be defended. That's... Oh, my God. I am pretty stupid. Okay. Oh, my God. Did you seriously... What? Why are you sending 68 men over in this side? When you have a clear point of access to land in Egypt and then march your way around. What are you doing? Oh my god, Castile. Why? What? Crusaders, come over here. And now my pope dies. You incompetent a-holes. Oh, okay. This is the French army that we need to actually move in and support us. So please, for the love of God, actually come in and do something because I don't know how long these guys are going to last to keep on dropping off over here. It would probably work better, France, if you gathered your men here first. Okay, seriously, what is the giant Crusader army up here doing? 40,000. You have 40,000 men. What are you doing, France? Are you letting this fall? Like, seriously, what is this? No, but seriously, like, what are you actually doing, France? You have 70,000 men. Is this glitched? Is my crusade stuck? They're not moving men. This is genuinely pathetic. It's been 2 years. It's been 2 years and they white peace. That is embarrassing. That is so embarrassing. Oh my god. Just like the real historical crusades into Egypt. Like, oh Lord, the Ottomans are really big and Byzantium is breaking apart. Well, I just realized this entire time that if I had actually gone and accepted the culture up here, which is different than I realized, again, this is a thing that we were learning, if you go and accept the cultures like Tuscan, Emilian, etc., all these different things, it makes integrating the places significantly faster. You know, you learn things. You learn things all the time, of course. Okay, I'm really not enjoying getting continuously spammed by these requests to lift excommunication from England. You can go to hell. You declared rivalry on me first. I'm also realizing after this entire time that technically speaking, I could have been declaring war on a variety of states, and I haven't, right? Like, I could have done this. The fact that I have not is something that is on me, I guess, that I haven't declared a bunch of no CB casus bellis, or no CB wars. I could have done that, and I haven't. And my power is steadily dropping as I guess more entities are getting powerful? Like, it's not my fault I can't declare war on things. I would have been able to take out huge swaths of Egypt. I didn't. Why? Because the frickin' French let an army of 70,000 just sit here. And I still can't build a frickin' army because apparently only the Mamelukes can do it. Apparently the Papal States can't. I don't know why. This is where I'm just kind of stuck. And now the Pope is dead again. Oh my God, guys. I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I've taken over huge swaths of Italy. I've taken parts of Egypt. I'm definitely converting things. And now there's the schism to return the church. And the Kingdom of France opposes the one in Rome. What? I have been an amazing pope, and now all of these people are just throwing their massive support behind the frickin' French. Genuinely, I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. It won't. Like, I've had no control over the ability to grant cardinals or anything else like that. So I can't go over here. I'm so confused. I'm so confused. It won't let me do anything. It says like, oh yeah, so the cardinals that get to vote for things in here. Now I'm revolted that the Egyptians are revolting against me. I'm a terrible pope. What am I dealing with here? How many? 7,000. Bruh, this is not going to be good. Let's say Benevento has fallen. Their army is invading. Somehow the rebels of Egypt are in Italy. Now they're gonna sack Rome. Honestly, just letting me distracted over here. You know what? If the AI wants to be that stupid, I will gladly take advantage of it. And the Pope is dead again. I can't seem to keep a guy. Like, I don't get how it is that I'm supposed to control the church. Like, if I go over for all this, right? Members, I can't do anything. Papal bulls don't let me do anything. Doctrine doesn't let me do anything. The overview doesn't let me do anything. Like, I can't do anything. I literally have no control over appointing frickin' cardinals. Wait. What happened to what happened to the revolt? What? It was reabsorbed by Egypt. Are you kidding me? I was putting down the revolt. I was literally putting... Okay. It's 3:30 in the morning. I'm very clearly a terrible pope. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I may not be able to play the Pope until potentially more stuff gets added for them to do. I think I should have chosen something else. Well, my friends, the whole point of this was to launch on a crusade. I did, and much like history, the Crusaders were driven out of Egypt. Didn't exactly work out. So with that, we're going to go ahead and end things here today. This is an extensive game. Oh dear God, the sheer amount of things that have to be balanced, and I know I'm going to get better. I know I'm going to go and approach the different mechanics of it here in order to be able to do better in general, but oh dear Lord, this is so much harder to balance than EU4. If you want to see more stuff for EU5, you want to see how different things work, by all means, let me know in the comment section below. Make sure to like this video, show some support. I am really glad that I got to do this in the first place, and I'm going to get better, guys. We're going to get better. We're going to explore more stuff for this, and we're going to figure this out. But either way, with that, my friends, we're going to end things here today. Thank you, and I'll see you all here next time. Goodbye, everyone. God freaking damn it.